You have reached your destination.
Yep. Okay, so today's project is to finish this up. I've put the snap ring on the back of the spindle here, so it's not going to pop out. I thought I'd have to bastardize more of the MGA's system here. Specifically, where'd it go? Where did it go? This actuator arm, but this hole is too small for that spindle, and the hole on this one is a little bit too big for this, but it works out. It's also just a little bit longer, so I've got a couple of washers as spacers. And my wonderful phone isn't friggin' focusing, but anyhow, snap ring on both sides. I was asked about where the parking mechanism is on this. On the TR7 motor, it's this switch right here. And it's actuated by this actuator, but because I've got such a short throw, it doesn't go all the way over. I may just take out that little retainer clip entirely and let it move freely, but so without further ado, let's take a look. So you can see how, whoops, you can see how, maybe it might have enough throw to move over on that, no, maybe not. But, long story short is, I've got a working wiper motor. There's high speed. There's low speed. With the same cable that I would use for an MGA. It's a little longer for the TR7, so I'll need to trim it, and it works. I've also verified that the, where is that damn thing? The lid for this, there it is. That fits over this correctly without binding or anything else. So, unless I figure out something for the parking mechanism, I won't have one, which, okay. My Saab was that way years ago. So next step is to mount this thing. Okay, here's a quick recap. These are what the windshield wipers ride on, right? And through the bottom here, we'll run the this cable. As this cable goes back and forth, it causes the wheel to turn. Let's see it. Just like this. So, what I should have showed you before was, if this is the driver's side, this is the passenger side, there is a short pipe that comes out of here. There's a connecting pipe that goes between here, and there is another pipe that goes from here to here. This other pipe is here. Okay, now normally this would be in the the driver's side of the engine bay. That's why this is so long and kind of oddly curved. I'll show you where. It would have gone in a little niche there, and that hole there in the corner with the black is where that first pipe would go through to connect into that post. Okay, mine's a little bit different. So I'm going to have to do some surgery to this thing and then flare out the end, which is easy. That's just a brake flaring tool. But check it out. So there's that little stubby end. Prior to, it would have come through like this, right? But there's little retaining clips here. There's one, and there's one. You can kind of see them both. There's a connecting pipe. There's the passenger side, the right side. And into here, I've got to make my pipe. So what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to clean this up, clean up the threads, and apply it to the motor. I've already made my clamp. Where'd it go? Here. Here's the clamp I made. Doesn't look pretty, but it's going to get the job done, you know. And I ordered 2 of these kits. This is the rubber that goes around the strap for the gas tank. Got a ton of this stuff left. So go like that. Then like that. And there she blows. Right? So this end here screws onto that male end there, and I need to figure out how much I've got to do. So I'm going to test mount this, which means I'm going to hold it up by hand and see how much distance there is between that thing and the next one of these things. Wiper post, I guess. Assembly, I don't know. What do they call this thing? Wheel box. And then I'll cut and I'll flare, and that'll be that. Okay, so I'm done here. I actually had to use the didn't have to. I chose to use the TR7 fitting. That way I knew they would connect with the motor fitting. Excuse me. You can see that I flared this. Doesn't look too bad. This was the total length of this thing. I cut it and flared it. I'm going to install this into the wheel box now. Just so it'll, likely to be easier when I start the motor mount. The motor mount, I'm thinking, isn't going to be as easy as I had thought it would be. Mainly because when this is flat like this up against the firewall, it has to do a pretty good bend out to get to that first pipe. So I'm going to have to think of something, or just take it like it is and grease the hell out of everything and say, yep, I'm done, which is like what I'm going to do. So I'm sort of at an impasse for the night. I really wanted to finish this too. I forgot that I wanted to paint this, so I just did. And it's, wow. No. I know how I am. I need to slow down and let this thing dry overnight. Otherwise, I'll fuck it up. I know myself. Yep, so I'll install all of this tomorrow, snake it on through, call it a night. Yep. And I'm done. I've got the motor in, I got it mounted. It looks pretty gosh darn good. The mounting thing I made stayed nice and black. Didn't fade in the night or anything. I did a little bit of trouble with this one here, but that's just because of the way that it was put together, the way that's situated in the engine bay. I also clear coated the motor and its casing out of a spray can. So take a look. Goes over really nice and well. Over nice and well. And then you can kind of see at the end of that tube there, there's a lot of overhang. So I'll be cutting that off in a second. I cut off quite a bit, but I've got more to go because what I didn't account for or think about was the extra length if this was installed inside the engine bay. So, and I think I'm going to paint those things black so you can't see them, but that's part of the brake system. Not bad. Not bad. I think what I might do, hook up my battery charger, see how it works. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do next. And the moment of truth. I've got this hooked up to my battery charger again. Kind of a basic splice, but we're going to see if it friggin' works. God, this thing doesn't focus for shit. Hell yeah. Okay, I think there's a low speed. And where is high speed? There's high speed. Sweet! Well done, group guy. Well done.